Tonight I'm going to show you how to make a delicious Greek meal. I'm going to show you how to make a barley lemon soup, roasted lamb ribs with rosemary and garlic, and roasted lemon potatoes. So to start off with, I know that sounds like a lot, but actually I'm going to show you how easy it is to make all three of those in no time. So right here I have the ingredients for our soup, and I'm going to show you how to make a soup, and then we're going to use that same lamb that's going to be cooked in the soup as our roasted lamb ribs. So our first ingredient is lamb ribs. They're really inexpensive and they're super delicious. So we're going to actually use this in our soup, and we're going to take it out and we're going to roast them later. So about 1 pound to 2 pounds of lamb ribs. Then we have our staples, always cooking with the garlic. We have a few cloves of garlic, about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. We have 1 leek right here, chopped. We have 1 medium onion chopped. We have a few stalks of celery chopped. So that's about 2 to 3 stalks of celery, depending how big they are. We have 1 big carrot chopped. Over here we have 1/2 cup of barley. That's really going to make it nice with that, with the lamb and the lemon flavors. We're going to add a bay leaf. I actually have Turkish bay leaves there. Some sea salt, fresh ground pepper, lemons at the end. Okay, and then I wanted to show you something here in case some of you are not familiar with this. This is a fennel bulb, fennel stalk. This is the complete thing. And what we're going to do, this gives it a delicious flavor. Lamb, lemon really go well together with fennel. So we're going to cut half of this, and we're actually just going to use the bottom part, and I'm going to chop that up. It looks very similar to celery, but its taste very different. It's actually really good for your stomach. It'll make you relax. Fennel is known to relax people as well. So it's a really nice thing to have for dinner. And then we have olive oil, and I'm using Greek olive oil. The last ingredient to your soup is optional. I love artichoke hearts. I don't know, maybe you can't find frozen artichoke hearts near you, but this is a bag of frozen artichoke hearts, and I'm going to add that in at the end when I add the lemons as well. If you're an artichoke lover, this is really going to be delicious. The fennel, the artichoke, the lemon, the garlic, the lamb, the barley, all of these flavors together are just superb. So you'll get to see what it all tastes like when you make it. So the first thing we're going to do is saute our vegetables in olive oil and get our soup going. Just wanted to show you how I cut the fennel bowl. So I just took half of it, and then I cut out, there's like sort of a hard part in here, and now I'm just going to chop it up just like I did. So I'm using my cast iron stock pot, and I added a little olive oil to the bottom, enough to coat the bottom of the pan, and then I just added my leek and my onion, and I'm sauteing that till soft. And then now that the onions started to brown a bit, I'm going to go ahead and add the celery and the fennel, the garlic, and the carrots. I'm going to saute that for a bit. I can also go ahead and add my bay leaves. I'm adding 2 since they're so small. And I'm just going to saute that for a bit until then will soften, a few minutes. And then I'll add the water and the lamb and cook this for an hour. So I added the water and the lamb, and what I want you to see is I added enough water to cover, plus with a little bit more on top. Okay? If you want to put a little bit more, that's fine, depending how thick you like your soup. And then I'm also going to add our barley, and that's going to cook slowly with the soup. And I'm just going to bring this to a boil, skim off anything that comes off at the top, and then I will simmer it for an hour. It's starting to boil, and I'm going to, if anything should come up to the top, I will skim it off, but so far it's pretty clean. I will now turn it down to a simmer and close it and put my timer on for an hour. Meanwhile, we're going to make our lemon potato. This is what we're going to be using to make our lemon potatoes. I took a few red potatoes. There were about 5 or 6 of them. They were kind of small. And what I did is I made wedges. They sort of look like apples, but I like them thick like that. If you prefer them smaller, you could chop them in half, the wedges, and make them sort of more bite-sized. But I prefer them sort of meaty like that. In the pan that we're going to use for the potatoes, I put the 4 to 5 garlic cloves crushed. Something interesting to know about garlic, once you crush it and you let it sit for a few minutes, it actually starts to act like an antibiotic. It's nature's natural antibiotic. I swear by it. I know many other people who do. Whenever I'm getting sick, I just smash a few garlic cloves, let it sit for a little bit, and drink it down with some water, and it really helps to keep me healthy. So, but just make sure you crush it first and let it sit. We're also going to be using oregano, and like I said, I like to use that oregano sort of whole and crush it as needed. And we have our Greek olive oil, lemon juice, and this is the juice of 2.5 lemons right here, and they're pretty juicy, so you'll see how much you need. But I wanted to show you, if you don't have one of these, get one, because they make juicing lemons really easy. So get yourself one. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to add all of this into the pan. We're going to make sure that all the potatoes are all coated. We'll cover them with aluminum foil and stick them in our toaster oven to cook for at least 40 minutes till they get soft. I'm going to use this flat pan for the lemon potatoes because it's better that they cook right on the pan as opposed to being on top of each other. It'll take longer to cook. This is what it looks like with all the olive oil, lemon, garlic, and oregano, salt, and pepper on them. And I'm going to close this tightly and put it in the oven for about 40 minutes at 375 until they get tender. And then I'll take off the aluminum foil and brown them for another 20 minutes. The soup is coming along really nicely, and potatoes are already in the oven. All we need to do is wait for this lamb to be cooked, and we'll stick that in the oven. But this is pretty much your time to relax now. We'll put the artichokes and the lemon in at the end, and that's it for now. This is what the soup looks like after an hour of cooking. I took out the lamb ribs, which are right here, and we're going to get those ready to roast those. And there's the artichoke hearts, the lemon and the salt. I'm going to add those to the soup. Added a pinch of oregano as well. I just want you to look at how gorgeous that is. See the barley? It's cooked really nicely. The carrots are still nice and meaty there. And something I like to make once the soup is served, I just put a red onion, a garlic clove, some parsley and olive oil in the food processor, and have that with some salt. Have that there to be served with the soup. It just adds a nice little punch to the soup and some freshness with that parsley. So I added that parsley, onion, garlic, salt mixture, just a little bit to the top, and you can see how lovely it looks. So we're going to serve it now. Our first course is done. It's the barley lemon soup, and I added the artichoke hearts in there because I love artichokes. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If artichokes aren't your thing, you could add, instead of artichokes, a handful of spinach if you like. But if you take a look, it's a hearty soup. But it's got like a really nice lemony scent to it, and I added some of that oregano and some of that onion and parsley at the end. So my mouth is watering just waiting to taste this. Oh, that is so good. The tanginess of the lemon, the barley, the heartiness of the barley. This is such a good soup. You need to make this. If you like lemon, tangy soups, but hearty with that barley and really good veggies, this is your type of soup. Give it a try. It's not difficult. I made it in 45 minutes. You can make it too. I actually exercised while my soup was being made. I got on my elliptical, so I got to make dinner and exercise. So now we're just waiting for our lemon potatoes and our lamb to be done. It quite amazes me how few ingredients are necessary to make these the most delicious ribs, lamb ribs, you are ever going to eat. Here are the boiled lamb ribs, and all it takes is olive oil, rosemary, garlic, and salt. So I'm just going to put all of that on top of our lamb ribs, put them fatty side up, and that's what it looks like. I'm going to put it in the oven for 1 hour, and it is going to be deliciously barbecued, crunchy, delicious. Here are the lemon potatoes. I took off the aluminum foil. I'm just going to move them around a bit, put them back in the oven for another about 15 minutes till they get browned. And took the lemon potatoes out of the oven. They are scrumptiously delicious, tangy, has the herbiness of the oregano. Really, really delicious. This is going to go great with the lamb. Can you hear that? These are our roasted lamb ribs. They are just sizzling. I just took them out of the oven. It's been about almost an hour cooking, and they look pretty ready to me. And they smell incredible. The rosemary really just smells wonderful. So we'll let this cool down, and then we'll just cut along the ribs and serve those with our lemon potatoes. So our lamb is ready. I don't know if you could see it, but look at that deliciousness. It's perfectly browned, really lovely. There's some rosemary and some roasted garlic there, but if you take a look at this. Okay, I have to bite into this. Oh, that's so good. It has a perfect amount of barbecue and a little bit of that fattiness to it. Oh, it needs a bite of lemon potato. Oh, truly, I feel like I'm on the Greek Isles again. Delicious. This, if you really want to impress somebody, family, friends, make these dishes that we went over tonight, because really they will just knock the socks off of them. My mouth is watering as we speak, and it's making it difficult to speak, so I'm gonna have to say, have a great culinary adventure in your kitchen, just like I did tonight, and I need to get back to this. So, see you next time. Oh, good.